Hello. You are tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, Nick Wright throws even more shade at Baltimore Ravens Lamar Jackson. Look. I told y'all before, I mean this. Nick does not like Lamar Jackson. He thinks he's a gimmick. Now, at times he's going to say, well, you know, I like Lamar because they all say, oh, well, he's exciting to watch. But when we're talking about winning, when we're talking about consistency, when we're talking about just quarterback play, they never put him in those conversations. And regardless if he has winning records versus his opponents, his contemporaries, meaning other QBs, more notably Joe Burrow, they go, but that doesn't count. It's Joe Burrow versus the Baltimore defense. That has nothing to do with Lamar Jackson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play what this guy had to say. Then we're going to break it down. All right, so without further ado, let's go see what Mr. Wright had to say this time.
It feels to me, and I'm not trying to be difficult.
Yes, you are.
Like your setup for this and your answer was as if the question is, which team do you trust more?
Well, the offense.
Well, but I showed two Lamar graphics.
But your answer was, I trust Lamar because Baltimore's going to win.
Yeah.
You guys discussed how the Bengals' run defense is bad. I agree with all of that. I think
But part of Lamar is running.
Yes, agreed. And I think the Ravens' pass defense is equally as susceptible. To me, of the two quarterbacks I trust more, it's Joe Burrow, and it's not a question.
Overall or against the Ravens? Because he's not. We just saw his numbers. He hasn't been great against the Ravens.
So
again, great when they don't have Lamar.
So right, which is a weird math we're doing, which is when Lamar's not there, Joe Burrow's success against the Ravens defense doesn't count.
They win.
But Nick, you don't think it's about complimentary football? You don't think having Lamar Jackson on the offense affects the defense?
No, of course I do. But and you just said, of course it doesn't count. I think if Joe Burrow goes out against, I think in this game, as a for instance, if Joe Burrow has 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, that is about how Joe Burrow does against the Ravens defense, not about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and but the fact that he can only beat the Ravens when Lamar Jackson isn't there.
Right, but
that's
that's
an important data point.
Yes, of course it's an important data point about the teams. If the question is who do I trust more Sunday, who am I more confident that Sunday is going to play a very well or great? It's Joe Burrow. Because Joe Burrow, since week 1, has been the best quarterback arguably in football, certainly in the AFC. Joe Burrow, if we look at over the course of their careers, post Joe Burrow's rookie year, in 2021, Burrow was excellent. Lamar was mediocre and hurt. And when I say it wasn't just that he was hurt, that year he had 18 touchdowns and 15 turnovers. In 2022, Joe Burrow was excellent. Lamar was mediocre and hurt.
I want to point this out too. He's saying that everybody was hurt on the Ravens. Everybody. And on top of everybody being hurt, Lamar had him at 8-3. When Lamar went down, they lost every single game. The offense could barely manage 10 points a game without Lamar that year. And you're going to come on there and say, hey, it's not really fair to judge Joe Burrow when Lamar is healthy? Let's go. Hey, yo, I don't want to hear this guy no more. Oh my God. His nose has impeded his mental judgment at this point. He can't even see straight. It's so big, he's sitting there like Jafar coming out the lamp. Like, yo, I can't take this. Like, look, I want y'all to hear what he just said. He said, because what the other guy said, Wilds, and the other guy, Bouchard, said, he doesn't win when Lamar's there. And then he said, that's more about the team than Joe Burrow. He's like, but when Lamar's there, he loses. Badly. Oh, that's more about the team and not Joe Burrow. Get that crap out of here, bro. you see what I'm talking about, the coping? Because they were wrong. Nick Wright put Joe Burrow number 2. And he said, well, I think he's a better quarterback than Lamar, simply because of his playoff run. Now, Joe Burrow's losing during the regular season. Every year, and I've said this so many times, the Bengals have mounted all of their supposedly good season with him, with Lamar Jackson hurt and the Baltimore Ravens being down a quarterback. That's how they got there. Both, you can't even, listen, if it was one season, I could get Bengal fans being like, no, Nitro. Both seasons, before Lamar Jackson went down with injury, we were number 1 in the AFC North and number 1 in the AFC. When Lamar gets hurt, then we go down. It's like, oh, yeah, but Joe Burrow's so great. So fine, playing when Lamar's there. Oh, that's not really fair. You know what I'm saying? Imagine somebody coming out and saying it's not fair when the other team has their starting quarterback. Oh, bro, the levels of cope that these guys are doing because they've all been wrong. Now, Lamar has a superstar running back who they all said was subpar. He even said, he was like, oh, well, he's not going to be that big of a difference. He's older. He has so much wear and stuff on his tires and everything. Right? That's what he said. But now, because you realize that because of Lamar Jackson's ability to be a true dual-threat quarterback, it opens up crazy lanes for Mr. Derrick Henry. Now you're screaming out, oh, but their run game is so great. It's not really fair. It's not all there. The defense getting out to stop them. It's not really Lamar. It's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's on pace for 2,000 yards. And the highest yards per carry of his career with less carries. So less carries, higher yard per rush, on pace for 2,000 yards. And you're going to have the audacity to try to come out and then demean, oh, it's called the Lamar Jackson effect. That's what bothers me with them. They already know, but because you were wrong again, now you're trying to pivot. Oh, well, I mean, it's more about, bro, have you ever heard of a worse argument saying, oh, well, the Ravens beat him, but that's because Lamar's there. When he's not there, he does great. What does that have to do with anything with Lamar beating them down every time they play? Some of Lamar's most memorable moments and best games have been versus the Bengals. Head up. He blows him out of the water. And you're like, that shouldn't really count, though. Really? Really? So you're only grading Joe Burrow versus the Ravens when Lamar Jackson's not capable of going. And then have the audacity to try to diminish Joe Burrow playing less games than Lamar in a shorter, career. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Hey, yo. Listen, man, it is what it is. Like I said before, these guys, and the crazy thing is he talks so passionately, defending his points. He's just not yelling and laughing. He's like sticking to the point, like, yeah, but, Lamar being there and beating him is not a real indictment on Joe Burrow. When has that ever been the case with quarterbacks? When have you ever said Tom Brady had weapons and great defense and the referees and Belichick, right? When he was going against Peyton Manning. Did anybody ever say, oh, well, Peyton Manning, regardless of that, that's not a reason that he shouldn't win? No, they say he has to go figure it out, win. Y'all said multiple years that the Bengals had a better team than the Baltimore Ravens. And Lamar Jackson went out. The difference was Lamar Jackson. He's always been the difference. He's been the biggest difference maker in the sport thus far. That's why Tom Brady called him the eraser. The problem with the Ravens is they depend on him to be the eraser too much. And eventually, just like everything in the you remember the old school eraser? And then the eraser, you got the pencils, there's nothing there. It's a little black spot at the top. And you make a run that, oh, man. And instead of erasing it just blank, it just smudges all of that, all of the writing, the chip writing stuff all over the page. It's ridiculous, man. I have never heard stupidity at this level like in a long time. This cuts the cake. This man's making excuses for this man losing to him up front, face to face, and saying, well, he plays better when he's not there. Well, one team has a quarterback, the other one didn't. You shouldn't add that. Then Chris Broussard went even so far to show their records versus winning teams. Versus plus 500 teams. Let me read this off to you. I was going to put it up there as a graphic, but I didn't. My fault, guys. But let me read it off to you. Versus 500 win teams or better. Lamar is 24-16. Joe Burrow is 13-15. Mind you, on Lamar's stuff, they do not count the Bengals, because that would have been a way more wins, right, as a winning squad. That means all those wins that he got versus the Bengals does not count towards that record that we're talking about right now, Lamar winning with 500 record teams, plus 500 record teams. Lamar averages 28.6 points a game, his offense, to Joe Burrow's 23.9. Total yards, 284 Lamar, 273 for Joe. 7.7 yards per pass, 7.1 for Joe. 79-36 for total touchdowns. The turnovers, Joe Burrow's 54-28. Passer rating, 99 to Joe Burrow's 93.9. Like, what are we even talking about here? It's nasty work. Nasty. He shouldn't even be allowed to be on this thing even talk. Like you lost all credibility. Most of these guys have, but my God, to make the point that you shouldn't take into account the starting QB of a winning organization, bro, the levels of cope is, oh my God, it's astronomical. You ever saw Hercules, the Disney version? Remember Olympus was way up there? I can almost dream of a special place with a wide, warm welcome that'll be waiting for me. Remember that one? You ain't getting what I'm talking about. It is where I'm meant to be. I will find my way. I can go the distance. And the distance between Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow is incredible. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I will go most anywhere to find where I belong. And he doesn't belong in the winning column. Oh! And you know it's true. But what do you guys think? You know what I'm saying? Do you guys think that Joe Burrow's on Lamar Jackson's level? Do you think he should be graded against the Ravens without Lamar Jackson being there? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Please let me know. Let me know what you know. You know what I'm saying? But as always, that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Y'all know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You know I love the comments. And if you haven't done so already, check out The Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes, 3 tiers of content goodness whenever your consumption. Give it a look, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you'd like to donate to this channel, help out with equipment and such stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR code to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is $, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nectar, signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yeah.
Finish him, Daddy.
Oh, oh.